The tater chip before. Hey, we're live. I want to, before we start, today is October 31st, Reformation Day, the day that Martin Luther nailed the theses on the sanctuary door. And
today Halloween?
Today is Halloween, yeah, but it's Reformation Day, so I want to, so today is the 31st of October, 2019, and I just want to say thank you to those of you who are here already, and my apologies for the trouble we had yesterday in the chat. I was able to talk to somebody about a way that I can deal with it. StreamYard does not have any blocking service available yet, and I use my computer with StreamYard, but I will have access with my cell phone to be able to do something else. But you know, folks, I'm taking notes. I can't take notes through the computer because I need, especially when we're going old school, I can't be pounding on the keys or having, somebody else type something up for me. So I'm taking notes. I'm watching the chat. I'm typing answers in sometimes, and there's just a lot to juggle at one time. So my apologies, but we're hopefully going to have a better day today. So hopefully, Larry, get my volume off my phone here. Okay, you're on, Larry.
All right, and folks, I need to apologize for blowing my stack yesterday. Please forgive me. I don't think I was as much taking it out on y'all as I was just the general stuff I'm in the middle of that is tough, and just forgive me. So I'm going to say no sense dragging it out. It is Halloween, and I saw some of the scariest Halloween costumes I think I've ever seen today. They're actually on television. Some of them were dressed like Adam Schiff. Some were dressed like Nadler, Pelosi. You want really tough, scary costumes. Those are about as ugly and terrifying as you can find today. I'm being facetious, so just understand. They did today what they had said they were going to do. Bottom line, where are we today? We're exactly where we were yesterday, except today it's official. They had the vote, and this entire vote, this entire proceeding, you have to understand why it's really being done. It's not being done to, of course, comply with what the Republicans have requested for fairness, justice. Hadn't been that at all. It's been primarily about two things. One, thumbing their nose in the face of the Republicans and all of us. Just thumbing their nose, laughing at us, saying, look at us, you can't touch us. We're doing what we want to do the way we want to do it, and there's nothing you can do to us. The second thing they're trying to do with this, or they are doing with this, is entertaining and holding their base together. Their base is doing to them what President Trump's base is doing. Many of y'all as well, us as well. We're all anxious and eager for something to happen. We need to see, so it goes. We need to see something. Well, their base is the same way. Their base is saying, hey, if you've got all this stuff on Trump, get it on. Stop messing around. I was able to get merely a few minutes ago some copies of some internal emails having to do with the DNC, Pelosi, and it was interesting. One of the emails refers to the good deed they did today because they did get confirmation day before yesterday that the poll, the internal poll, the DNC had run, which they claimed to be an internal, they claimed it to be right, showed that they were slipping with their base. It actually shows they had dropped 6 to 8% of their base. And it was basically, they believed, because of inactivity. So that, I'm sorry, I said a couple of days ago, it was last week. The email was sent a couple of 3 days ago. I just got it moments ago. But that's what, now we know what caused the meeting this past weekend when they decided to go forward with the formalization of the impeachment. That makes sense now. Now it makes sense. They're losing their base. They're losing them because they want something to happen. You know, you can't, I don't care if it's Schiff, Pelosi, or Al Baghdadi. You can't hold the public forever just teasing them. You've got to have productivity. Something's got to happen. So that's what predicated them going forward with the charade they've gone to. Does that make sense to y'all now? There was one other email that was very significant that I got. This email was sent to quote unquote Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton from the DNC. I'm going to paraphrase it because I don't want to get caught looking like I'm holding somebody's email that I'm not supposed to have. So I'm just going to tell you what I remember seeing, if you understand my drift. The email was from a member of the DNC leadership, and it was a Dear John letter. To me, it was like a Dear John letter, like we used to get in the military, right? When you were off serving your country and your girlfriend you left behind sent you this nice letter, and it started off, you know, Dear John, you know I love and miss you and have been loyal, da-da-da-da-da, but then there's an old but that comes in. But I met somebody else, etc. This was a Dear John letter of type. It started out saying, we expressly want to thank both you and Hillary, President Clinton, you and Hillary, for your outstanding years of dedication and service and devotion to the Democratic Party. And it did a little flowery stuff about it. But then it said,
hey, Larry, devotion to the party, not the country, right?
Exactly. Yes, it didn't say country, it said party. But this was a letter from the party, so that's probably acceptable. Not right, but acceptable. Then it went on to say, we have received continual requests for us to solicit Hillary to run in the 2019 presidential primary.
2020,
I'm sorry, presidential primary. And basically what it was saying was that, would you please stop it? Stop it. The Democratic Party, it was claiming, now remember I'm paraphrasing this, but I'm not pulling a shift on you and putting words into their mouths. I'm telling it pretty much like it is. They were saying that the party has chosen to relish the memories of the Clinton years, but they are gone. And it is time for the party to move on. So, bottom line, it would be muchly appreciated if you could take whatever steps necessary to try and convince your supporters, which there's a ha-ha that they don't mention in here. So this is my words. My words is a ha-ha. We know these requests are coming from you, Hillary, but anyway, would you please get your devoted followers to please stop trying to get us to solicit Hillary and for them to choose one of the candidates already in the primary and throw their support behind them. Now, if you know the Clintons and if you know how many times I did it for them, this letter would make a lot of sense. You see, when Bill Clinton was governor, it made no sense for him to always want to be governor again, right? So for us to get the maximum PR that we wanted to launch his campaigns, I always set it up to where he would basically kind of drop the hint he was not going to run again. And then we would have the party come and beg him to run again. The party would solicit him, and then he would be able to say in his announcement, you know, ladies and gentlemen, I fully intended to not run for another term, but I received so many requests, and I'm honored there was so many people begging me to get in the race. I felt obligated that I had to. So consequently, I'm in the race, not by my choice, but at the will, honoring the will of the people. We did that every time after his second term. Now, they were trying to set that up again. They've been trying to get it to where the DNC would come to Hillary, not her asking to get to run, not her throwing her name in the hat, but for the party to beg her to get in the race. And as it turns out, it looks as though that has failed. Now that's good news. Good news for all of us. I would say on face, it looks as though Hillary is not in the running in this presidential election. However, I would caution everybody, once again, knowing Hillary the way I do, well, let me say this about Hillary. Let me give you a little more background. Hillary would not run for dog catcher. She would not go in a meeting to just determine what color toilet paper to put in the governor's mansion's bathroom, unless before the meeting was held, she was convinced that everything she wanted had already been agreed to. She would not. It was like it's some kind of spooky ritual. She would not go into a meeting or anything unless she knew she gets her way. She just won't do it. She would not do it. Same was true about running for president. She wouldn't run for president until she knew she had all of the credentials she needed, being president's wife, governor's wife, secretary of state, United States senator. I mean, she had all the ducks lined up in favor for her to win. And then when they went out and backed Trump, who was a guaranteed loss, they knew they had it won, but it failed. That's the Hillary. That's the Hillary habit. But if that's true, then you say, well, then she's certainly not going to run in 2020. Except for one other thing that might apply. When they turned her down and started talking to her basically about being not relevant anymore, her and Bill, they need to go off to the pasture and revel in their past, but basically get out of town. There is a chance that could have made her so mad that she could get in it just out of spite. Just out of spite. So beware. She should not be in this race. Chances are 90% or better she's not getting in. But there's that small percentage that they may have offended her and made her mad and she might get in. Now, I will tell you about another email.
Hang on a second. Don't they know that if she gets mad, she might come in just to spite them?
No, I don't think they know Hillary. I think the leadership of the DNC that, like the Donna Shalala and all of those people, the people that know her or knew her, they're not in the DNC anymore. This is a new crop. Remember, Hillary's been out for some time. They don't know her. They don't know how she thinks and what she does. We do. I do. You do now. There was another interesting email.
Oh, wait a second. Since you're talking about Hillary, is there any chance that she would run as an independent? Because that would split the Democrats and help Trump win.
No, I do not think she would run as an independent because, as I tell you, Hillary knows or thinks in her mind if she gets into the DNC, she'd get the nomination. And she thinks she and Bill would control it. Now, they still think that way. Whether that's true or not, I don't think so, but they think it is. But she's also wise enough, I know because I trained them, they're wise enough to know a third party would not win, and she's not going to get in it if she's not going to win. She's not going to get in it that way. No way, folks. I'll put that at 99%. She'll not run as an independent. Now, moving on to the next email, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
The next email that I got a copy of was confidential and private. This was an email that I will not say who it was from, but I will say who it was to. It was to the Honorable Michael Bloomberg. And to sum it up accurately, but not exactly, it was that the DNC believes that there's still time for another progressive candidate to enter the race. And it is the general consensus that many in the DNC progressive leadership would like to see you enter as a candidate. And that's something.
That's just
They're out soliciting someone to come in. See how this party apparatus works, folks? It don't work at all like you're told it works, like we're told it works. It don't work like that at all. You know, you've got all these candidates that are out there slugging it out every day. And all you hear is that the party leadership, the party as such, it doesn't get involved until one of them wins. They don't get involved with any candidate. They leave it all alone until one of them wins the prize, and then the party unifies behind that candidate. Now you're seeing that's not necessarily true. They're making deals all the time to get what they want. And as the email that was talking about the results of the poll showed, in addition to people the base getting disgruntled with the lack of serious and positive activity having to do with the impeachment, it also talked that there was massive concern within the party base that too much weight was being given to the impeachment for and because of the lack of candidates that could win in a heads-up race against the president. That's why when they basically announced this resolution, one of the idiots that was doing talking for the Democrats came out and said, either we impeach Trump, we must impeach him because we can't beat him in the election. Isn't this something?
Yep.
Isn't it something what my magic mailbox can bring me? And the news that I can share with you. Now, there are going to be those that say, well, can you prove what you just told us? Really, you really did get it and it really went out. Yes, I can, but no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I don't need to. This is one of those times where I'm telling you, and it is not wise for me to publicize what comes in my mailbox, even though I do not know where it comes from. I do not pretend to know where it comes from, but I certainly do not need the FBI and all of the government ABC agencies coming over here, barging in and trying to track down where I get things. I'm not going to allow that. So to the government and the progressives, if you're planning to come and get the material to which I just referred, forget it. It's been destroyed before I read it or told about it. But I assure you folks, you will see it come to pass. It will come to pass. Not because of me. It'll come to pass because that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. Isn't that something? Isn't that amazing? So, today is Halloween. We could go on forever about what they did today, the Democrats and their line reasonings for it, the Republicans lining up one by one, telling us why it's still wrong, and we'll get absolutely nowhere. It should suffice to say we are where we are today. They intend to use this official vote, however, official vote, but not voting for an official inquiry done according to the way historically these kind of investigations have been conducted. They're still manipulating the rules for Schiff so that he calls the shots, judge, jury, prosecutor, judge, and jury. It's all still rigged. By the way, I told you it was going to be rigged or there was going to be tricks in it before I even saw the resolution. But there's something else happening. Pelosi knows, as does Schiff, as does Sadler, as do most of the Democrat progressives, They know the IG report is soon to come. They also know that Barr and Durham are fixing to make their initial positions known, having to do with prosecutions and impaneling grand juries, etc. They know that's coming. So they have set up a very good deflector. A very good deflector. Number one, you'll notice the media is not talking about Durham and Barr and the status of their investigations. You notice all the talk is about this whistleblower thingy. They're occupying the news coverage. They're taking the news cycle away from anything Barr and Durham might do now.
And with the stunts that even Fox is pulling, you know, it makes me wonder if he'll even be able to get it out through Hannity and Tucker and Ingram.
He'll get it out.
Oh,
He'll get it out. It will get out. Now, it will even get out in the mainstream. But the way it will be portrayed in the mainstream will be, once again, we've talked about it, nothing has changed when it comes out in the mainstream. It will be a unified cry by both the mainstream media and the Democrats that Barr and Durham are simply stooges sent out to obstruct justice, to cover for the president. That's the way it'll be played. We'll know differently. There will be maybe 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5 tops programs on Fox News Network even that may get to the truth. There won't be much more than that. Won't be much more. The other thing that Pelosi's done by doing this, looks like they've officialized this inquiry, but they really haven't. Another thing she's done is buy more time for this to drag out longer to get further into the campaign cycle to keep hurting President Trump in his reelection. Because the same poll that they said they were losing base support because of inactivity, it also said, now if I have, since it was an internal, I have reason to believe it. I do. It also said that the investigation into Trump with the impeachment and the, what did it call it, the ebb and flow of the witnesses that have come in and the information made public from the witnesses that have come in, that it too is having a significant impact in the base of President Trump. So they believe this is wearing down his base. That's dangerous. Not just so much because it might really be wearing his base down, but it's really dangerous because Pelosi and them believe it now. They believe if they keep doing this, they're hurting Trump with his base. Which means if they believe that, you can expect they will keep pouring the coal to this type of scandal. One last thing, and then I'll open to questions. So if you've got questions, start getting them in. Remember, all of you, I warned you that as we get closer to the actual campaign season, the Democrat candidates, the Democrats would stop talking about socialism. Mary Ellen, you're on here and you can talk. Did I not tell you that was coming?
Oh, yeah. Haven't heard much about it even recently.
You have not heard much about it. You see what I was talking about, guys? They were so proud of standing up in that first debate and all decrying that they were democratic socialists. Now, even AOC and that bunch of creeps, they're not even bringing it up. It's going to get harder to convince the people you talk to, all of you, the people you talk to, that they are socialists. It's going to get harder because we're in the phase now where they're just not going to talk about it. They're just not going to keep mentioning that they're democratic socialists, which helps us greatly. The next phase is when they deny it. That will start soon. But right now, it's going to be difficult enough to explain to people that they're all socialists, except for one thing. You've got the debate where they all said they were. They can't take that back, although they will deny it. And that clip of that will probably get erased and never be shown again, but they did all say it. This is one of the reasons that I do hope y'all come here and listen to this program. Barring me throwing fits periodically, and I am sorry. I have tried to keep y'all ahead of the game and apprised and informed for a reason. You're all much smarter in this game that's going on to steal our country than most anybody y'all talk to. You have no reason to go and put out these kind of conspiracy things that we can't validate. Don't do it. You don't need to. You're so far ahead of the game in knowledge. That's what you should be using. Use the knowledge that you've been trained in. Remember when I used to tell y'all, I'm not teaching you anything? Maybe some of you don't. But those that have been around me for some time know I used to tell you all the time, I'm not teaching you. Remember, Mary Ellen? You're the only one that can answer.
Yeah. You said you're going to.
Remember that, right? I'm not making that up, correct?
Right. Correct.
But I did, however, say I was training you. Training you. And there's a big difference between teaching and training. The stuff, if you've been here with this program for much of a length of time at all, a lot of this information, a lot of this knowledge is now a part of you. You don't have to think about it. It's there. It's a part of you now. Now I can say to you, when you're in front of a person and you're trying to get them to be sure and pay attention and vote in November 2020, that it's important, it's imperative that we need every vote. Don't worry about knowing what to say, because just rely on your training. It's like in the military. Take your brain out of it. Just rely on your training. When they ask you a question, you can answer it. But if you can't answer it, say, guess what? I don't know.
I don't know. I'll find out. I'll get back to you.
Yep. Never be afraid. I'm not. I do it to y'all. Never be afraid to say I don't know when I don't know. I would caution y'all from using my opinion, depending on where you are in the relationship with the person you're talking to. You may not have a relationship yet where you've earned the right to say my opinion and it means something. I know it does. You know it does. But they may not have enough time with you to understand the depth that you know things. So I'm just cautioning you, be careful saying, my opinion. If you're with somebody and they don't know you and you haven't proven to them time and time again that you do follow it and you know and you're apprised and you know what's happening, be careful saying my opinion because you haven't earned that right. Now with that, let's open it up to comments and or questions.
All right, the first comment, Renee says, vote every Democrat out of office on a local, regional, and state basis. These communists are trying to take your freedom.
Well said, Randy. Well said.
No, that was Renee.
I'm sorry. Excuse me, Renee. Well said, Renee. And Randy, it would have been well said for you had you have said it. And I know you would have.
Yep. Anthony asks, how can this happen? Why is this allowed?
I say what?
How can this happen? Why is it allowed?
Because of where we are in the country today, which is the fundamental answer is, who are you going to call to do anything about it? We're exactly in the place we should be in, believe it or not. We should be in this shape. After years and years of neglect by we the people, we should be right where we are. They have finally achieved penetration into our government at all levels. They have gone and made sure in all of the sensitive pieces of our government, places that could stop what they're trying to do, they have gone in and strategically placed people in those positions.
And I'm going to add to that, Larry, there are 5,000 Muslims that are running for various offices for next year.
Mm-hmm.
At all levels.
And if me being a white guy dare to say we don't want Muslims in our government, they're going to call me a racist. Hey, call me a racist. Call me an Islamophobe. But let me tell you why I don't want Muslims in our government at any level. It's one thing if they simply worship Allah. That's I can live with that. I don't like it, but that's their God. They can worship whom they want to. But unfortunately, with most of the Muslims, they come in packing Sharia law. They want Sharia law in this country. At first, they're going to tell us they want to share it. So in other words, they want dual law. They want constitutional law, but then when it applies to Muslims, they believe that they should be allowed to be adjudicated under Sharia. That's what they say. Or that's what they will say if challenged. But if you know anything about Islam, either you're a follower of Islam or you're not. Either you're pregnant or you're not. And if you follow Islam, you are loyal to Sharia law. No other law dare to intercede. And that's what's scary about this influx of Islam into our government. Anthony, are you the Anthony that was with me for years in Alabama? Just want to know. So send us a message and let us know if you're the Anthony from Alabama. I know you're not there now, but you were.
I don't think so, but...
Okay. What else you got?
Regina says that Trump has a new person coming on his election team. It's a secret weapon.
What?
Regina claims Trump has a new person coming on his election team who's a secret weapon.
I'm not going to respond to that other than to say that President Trump this time has a very, very good team established already to help monitor and protect the integrity of the election. That's all I'm going to say. You know, there are certain things, guys, just so you know, there are certain things that if I did know it, I couldn't tell you or wouldn't tell you. Couldn't means I can't because of commitments I've made that I won't. Wouldn't means a lot of times, wouldn't means or won't tell you, means that there's certain things that I believe they have the right to break to the world, not me.
Yeah. Another comment. Gloria has helped 15 Democrats walk away. What she has said to them.
I didn't understand what you said.
Gloria has helped 15 Democrats walk away from the Democrat Party.
Very good, Gloria. Very good. If somebody is a true liberal Democrat, understanding, of course, Gloria, you know this, understanding they may have core beliefs that are different from ours, conservatives. For example, they may be in support of abortion, and of course we're not. But you see, that's their right. We all fight for them to have that right. Don't mean we agree with it, but they have the right to stand for that and want that. That's their right. Any self-respecting Democrat that is truly a Democrat, liberal, but does not carry the mantra of progressive, they should be leaving the party, because the party, hate to pick up an old line used by a bunch of them, the party left them. They didn't, Gloria, you did, the party didn't, these people didn't leave the party left them. And you helped them. Thank you. We all should endeavor to do that. Look, what they're doing in Washington today is an affront to Democrats, liberals, conservatives, Republicans, all of us, all Americans. That's an affront to all of us. Democrats are not trying to steal our form of government. Democrats want it as bad as we do. Progressives want to transform our government. And liberals lose as much as we do when that happens. We all lose. What else?
Do you know when Durham's going to drop the information?
Do I know when who?
Durham is going to drop his information on the indictments and so on.
If I did, I could not tell you. Would not tell you either.
And there are circumstances that if it's delayed, there's a reason it was delayed. So
just remember, all of you, I've asked you this before, I will ask it again. Do not wish Barr and Durham to rush what they're doing. Do not wish for that. Wish instead that when they do it, they have done everything as humanly perfect as anybody could. They've dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's. If they broke it today, guys, it'd be wasted anyway. It would be buried up in this impeachment junk. So don't even want it out now. Not right now. What else you got?
If they do the impeachment, can it go to the Supreme Court to be overturned?
Helen, I'm just having trouble understanding what you say sometimes. What did you say?
I'm sorry, sir. If they impeach President Trump, can he appeal to the Supreme Court?
Well, if they impeach, well, wait a minute. If they get a recommendation for impeachment from the House, the first step is for the Senate to either decline to hear it, number one, at which point if the Senate does that, the Democrats will take it to the court. But they won't go to the Supreme Court. They'll go to a federal court and get a ruling to block it. But if they do if McConnell agrees to have the trial, if he is found innocent, he's off. If he's found guilty, folks, he's out. There would be nothing to go to the Supreme Court with. Nothing. I know that sounds terrible. Maybe I better explain it. If it goes to the Senate for the trial, and McConnell lets the Senate hold the trial, and if in the trial enough Republican senators cross over and vote to have him removed from office, then, ladies and gentlemen, that's following the Constitution. There will be nothing to go to the Supreme Court over. He will be out. What you got?
Are Hillary and Tulsi cooperating together?
No.
And would...
Wait a minute. Well, I'm saying no, but please understand, I'm not privy to any of their personal for real reasons, but I can see very little legitimate reason why they would work together. And if they were, it wouldn't look quite like it looks. And I think I would know it. What you got?
Is all this going to backfire on the Democrats next year?
That's all 100%. I didn't say 98. I didn't say 99%. I said that's all 100% dependent on us, we the people. Yes, it very well can. But at the same time, it very well can go against us. I know you see a lot of comparisons to, oh my God, the Democrats are cutting their own throat because look what happened to the Republicans with Clinton. Folks, let me assure you, with Clinton, with Nixon, and the other one that we've had, you don't have any reference point. You don't have any frame of reference. There has never been the absolute polarization in this country that you have today. So you cannot, with any credibility, sit back and say, well, it hurt the Republicans when they did it to Clinton, so therefore it'll hurt the Democrats because they're doing it to Trump. You can't say that today. The polarization of this country is so different than it's ever been in our history that all bets are off.
What's going to happen when Durham makes his announcement?
Well, what's going to happen? That's what me and probably a dozen people in Washington of various levels of importance, me being way down to the lowest, are all wondering, what does it mean? What's it going to mean? What's the reaction going to be? We know how it's going to be presented, but we cannot say today how it's going to be received and the response. We can't. So the answer, I guess, is I don't know. But don't be mad at me for not knowing. There's people that are very, very interested as we are. They don't know either. What else?
Is Hillary working with the pharmaceutical industry to get rid of us?
No.
I think that's more what Gates is doing, isn't it?
That's more of what who's doing?
Bill Gates.
No, that's more of one of those
Conspiracy ideas?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm not saying they're not. She and any of them are working with the pharmaceutical industry to rip us off. Yes, they are. Pharmaceutical industry is a big sugar daddy to politicians, both parties, I might add. But when you make the statement, are they doing it to basically like kill us off? That's getting into the conspiracy bogus stuff.
Any idea when the FISA report's coming out?
Soon.
And do you know who the first person to be indicted is going to be? There again, I think you have to not say if you didn't know, so let's move on.
Well, once again, let me answer as I'm supposed to answer. If I do know, I can't tell you. And if I know, probably I wouldn't tell you. That's an announcement that should be exclusively reserved for Barr and Durham, not for somebody like me.
Who's going to be the vice president? I don't know why that's. I thought Trump already announced it's.
It will be Pence. It will be Pence. Don't go there. I have seen nothing at all to indicate Mike Pence is planning to leave, and I have certainly seen nothing anywhere in my rounds where President Trump would even ask him to leave.
If Trump is voted out, can we vote him back in next year? I mean, if
Nope.
he's impeached out, can we vote him back in?
Nope. If he's impeached, he cannot. He's a felon.
Okay. Look, Moon Gopi says there's no, let's not have any insurrection. Call out the U.S. Marines to arrest the traitors.
You know, I've answered it before. I'll answer it again. And I'll probably have to answer this over and over and over. The Marines are not called up. They will not be called up to arrest Schiff and the creeps that are stealing our country. They will not. They cannot be. And I would warn once again, I would try to warn you all once again, if it were even possible, or if anybody of any authority were even contemplating something, a move such as that, what have we done? I mean, we're all here fighting to keep and maintain the Constitution of the United States of America, one to which I and many of you listening to me have all sworn an oath to. Yes, many of us is back when we first joined the military, and that was years ago. But our oath that we took, unless yours was different than mine, did not say you take this oath for 4 years or however many years. It didn't. We are all bound by that. And what have we gained if we circumvent or usurp the Constitution to achieve a goal we want? Then we're no better than Schiff and them. We're no better than the communists, the socialists. We're no better. We fight within the framework of the Constitution we love so, that we believe in. And we're not going to change it. We're not. What else?
We had a comment. I can't remember the name of the person. He said if you didn't get upset yesterday, he would have had a problem with this.
Well, thank you, but please know, my fits of rage, when I ended up taking it out on everybody listening, which was inappropriate. Now, yes, I was very mad, still am, hate everything that I told you yesterday. I hate it, still do. But I'm not allowed by my own ethical standards. And yes, I got some. Maybe they're not as high as most of you, but I got some. And my own standards, I just don't believe in doing that. That's not fair.
Yeah.
So forgive me.
Okay, 14 states are going with the popular vote. Will there be a federal challenge in order to support the Electoral College?
Anything's possible with this group. This group will stoop to anything to rig it for their victory and to stop us. And I will add to that, it's incumbent on us to be ready. It's one of the reasons I keep telling you, be still right now. I mean, now that doesn't mean don't talk to the people around you and fill them in on where you are, where we are. Invite them to listen to this program. But as far as group activities that we do together, that's why we're holding our fire until we get to certain things. And then when things happen, then we respond.
Yeah, because Amazing Grace was asking, is there some action we can take right now? And you've told us to keep talking to people, reminding them they have to vote, letting them know that the Democrats are socialists. Is there any point in, well, I mean, I called my congressman this morning and I said, if you vote up for this thing today, I'm going to do everything I can to keep you from winning next year. But, I'm in a Democrat, this is such a blue area where I live. It's just.
Liz, if you just want to do something, may I suggest you call every Republican senator and you tell them, number one, because of the way they have unfairly conducted themselves in the House, don't have a trial based off of the recommendation from the House, if there is one, for impeachment. Number two, if there is a trial in the Senate, stand with President Trump, and if you vote to impeach President Trump, write these words down. I'll do everything in my power, with my family, with my friends, anybody I can talk to see that you never hold public office ever again. And you can even tag it, Larry Nichols told me to tell you. Yes, sir. Y'all can do that. Mary Ellen can draft up a script for you to read and put it on the site in the next day or so.
Well, we'll do that this afternoon because I'll be on the phone with Barb after this. We're just about out of time. Why don't the Republicans use the garbage they have on the Democrats to get them to calm down?
Well, once again, who are you going to call? If you've got garbage, I've got garbage on them. Who am I going to call to get it put out? That would make a difference. The other thing, what on earth are you going to point out that a Democrat's doing that their constituency that support them is going to care about? You catch them doing cocaine, big deal. Catch them having sex with 10 people and having 50 illegal babies, who cares? The standards for the Democrats have reached an all-time low, so there's really nothing they're afraid of getting caught doing. And then we're stuck with who we're going to call to get it out.
Yeah.
I do want to say to everybody before we go, I'll take another question or two or three, but I want to say it right now. I need desperately today, I'm still short about $300 to what I need for tonight. Can somebody please do that quickly? Please. If y'all can't tell, listen to my throat, listen to my voice. If you don't think I haven't been talking and fighting over all this stuff for many, many hours straight, you can't listen, you can't hear. My throat is shut, my throat is parched. I can't breathe. I need your help today. Can you please, please?
Yep.
What else you got, Mary Ellen?
when we vote, is early voting safe?
I don't like early voting. The longer your vote is held in what's called suspense, which means they're holding it somewhere until the day they count it. And it's during that time period, a lot of things can happen to your vote. So I would prefer everybody get a paper ballot, and I would prefer everybody vote as close to the final cut as you can. Election day, vote then, if you can. What else?
Is anybody looking into the Schiff Ed Buck connection with the?
Yes. I can truthfully tell you at this point, I got to be careful how I say it, but Barr has a team looking into that. Yes, they do.
Okay, good. Let's see. Can you make any suggestions on how we stop the socialists?
Well, that's what we're doing every day. Every day, I want you here, if you can at all, here. I want you to repeat what you get here, and I want you to talk to as many people around you as you can about the things we talk about here. Be careful not to get sucked into a trap talking about the things that Q Bassan and all those guys come up with. Talk about what we talk about here. I know if you talk about what we talk about here, and if you tell it straight, like you heard it here, you will not be made a fool of with the person you're talking with. They will not find out you were out to lunch and told them something that wasn't true. You won't.
Is there any point in getting your ballot notarized? For example, if you were to get an absentee ballot and have it notarized before sending it in?
No, would not do you one bit of good.
Just Anthony says he sent you 20. Anybody match that today, folks?
Thank you, Anthony. My phone has started telling me I received something from, but that's all it tells me. It doesn't tell me how much or who it came from. It just started that last week. I have gotten three things saying somebody sent me something, but I don't know how much it was. So to those three people, whoever you are, thank you. And folks, I need 300. Not 295, 300. That's how close I am to the wire.
Yeah. Did Pelosi and Schiff go to Syria? Did their trip over there to the Middle East have anything to do with what happened to Baghdadi?
No. Now, did who go to Syria?
Well, like I said, we talked about this yesterday. That's what got you upset. So.
Yeah, but you said, did who go to Syria?
Pelosi and Schiff, when they went over to
No, they did not go to Syria. They went to Jordan.
Right.
When they went to Jordan, they took an envoy with them of a group, some members of Congress and basically some staffers, but they did not go to Syria. No, they went to Jordan. Now, they contacted the leadership in Syria, and Syria sent an envoy. But what's his name didn't show up.
Baghdadi didn't? Okay.
Well, Baghdadi didn't. Baghdadi wouldn't have been in on any of that.
Yeah, Assad, okay. What news networks news sources or networks do you recommend? I know you recommend Hannity, Tucker, and England.
Well, that's fairly simple. If you want any semblance of truth, your only shot's Fox. And you can't trust all the Fox hosts. But now, guys, I'm going to tell you, I'm funny about this. I'm not a supporter of Hannity, Tucker, or Ingram if they're putting out stuff that's not really true either. You know, anybody putting out stuff that's not guaranteed news and the truth is wrong. For our side, for their side, for any side. But the one you're most honestly going to get a reasonable picture from is going to be Fox. Any of the rest, ABC, NBC, CBS, C-SPAN, MSNBC, CNN, you're not going to get anything but propaganda. They are all state-run media today. Russia Putin wishes he had a media as controlled as ours. What else?
How long do you think it'll take before it gets to the Senate for a trial for the impeachment?
I don't know. Based off the email stuff with the polling data, they're going to drag it out as long as they can. Pelosi doesn't want it to go to the Senate trial right away. They want this. If they had their druthers, they would rather it stay in this kind of crazy situation up until the day before the election. When it goes to the Senate trial, if it does, it's going to end one way or the other. And if it ends that Trump walks away, then they're through. They won't be able to use it anymore. And if he loses and thrown out of office, they won't need it anymore. What else?
How can the Democrats be having hearing after hearing on top of one another?
Easy. They just keep calling in people to testify. And they devote a day to every person they've got coming in to testify. And if what we're hearing from the Republicans coming out of these closed hearings, if they're telling the truth, it looks as though 9 out of 10 of the people they're bringing in, that we hear this great big buildup, they're coming in to prove Trump did commit quid pro quo. According to the Republicans, they're coming in and they're not doing that. So the hearings are not going well. But the neat thing for Schiff is they control what is actually put out. So their story gets out and the Republicans' story does not. But they'll do that from now on. As a matter of fact, you heard me talk about it yesterday, I believe, where Schiff literally went on, my words, not his, he literally went on that little impromptu press statement he made, or conference, and he was begging for any potential whistleblower to get in touch with him. You know, get in touch with them. They will protect them, make sure nobody knows who they are. And in my words, I was saying what he was really trying to say: come to us if you got any kind of job that might make it look like you had something to do with any of this. Come to us and don't worry about it. If you don't have a real juicy story, we'll give you one and back you up. We'll write it for you. What else?
I just put up your address. We've had a couple people pledge to send 50. I don't know how many are doing it through PayPal, and I just put your address up because somebody needed cash. Investigator says he sent you a text yesterday. I know he was wanting to talk to you, and I told him how busy you were, or I told him that you were really busy.
Who did? I couldn't hear you. Who did? You were cutting out.
Investigator News.
I don't know who that is. I didn't talk to him.
No,
If you're trying to get in touch with me, Investigator News, that's Ellie, right? Isn't that Ellie?
I don't know. Is it? I have no idea. Yes, Ellie. Yes.
Yes, Ellie did send me a text. I have not been able to get with her.
Okay.
But Ellie, if you're listening, I will, honey, as soon as I can.
Yeah, she's listening. All right. How can Schiff make new laws beyond the Constitution? Well, that's just what they're getting away with, so they're doing it.
Say that again. Say that again, Mia.
How is Schiff making new laws beyond the Constitution with what he's doing? He's getting away
He's not
with
making it. Look, he's not making laws. They are not, I repeat, making laws. They are making rules. This is the beauty of what they have figured out, guys. This is what they have come up with, which is, as I have told y'all, is very dangerous and very deadly. There are, in reality, very few, very few, minuscule number of laws having to do with procedure. Rules are basically being developed when typically they are done through fairness, matching up with jurisprudence, in other words, trying to operate the impeachment and all of this stuff in a similar way you would a court and under law. But these are just historical rules. They're not laws. So Shift is very much in, I hate to tell you, he's in his right to do what he's doing. Not in his right, he can do it. It's wrong as hell, but he can do it.
Okay, Renee had another question, but I don't understand the way it's worded, so I can't read that. Anyhow,
Are we nearing the end of questions and comments?
I'll talk about Corsi. They're asking what happened with Corsi and you. I can explain that afterwards. We're at 4:13. We were going to have a conference call. Barb's already waiting for me on the conference call. So if anybody, is there a furlough coming next month, or do you think they'll be able to pass the new budget by the 19th?
I would imagine they will come up with another compromise, kick the can vote on the budget.
Yeah, that's what I would expect too. All right, folks. I'm going to let Larry go, and I'll take it from here. We had up to 154.
Oh, great. But folks, please. Huh? What?
Can the Senate create rules to counter what the House is doing? They
well, yeah, they can, but they won't. They can, but they won't. Now, the Senate, however, does have more laws, I guess you would call them, for procedure than the House. But McConnell would have considerable sway with things that he could do, but he won't. They won't do that.
Okay, we got up to 154, Larry.
Well, with that, folks, thank you, and I hope to see you tomorrow. But remember, we're still trying to raise that 300, please. All right, good day, folks. I'm sorry, what?
Larry, Yeah, we had 220 pledged, but I don't know how much of that is coming in the mail and how much is coming through PayPal. So folks, we need to get
Okay.
him to 200 today through PayPal. That's the only
PayPal. Yeah, the mail. Thank you for the mail, but it don't get here for a week or better.
Yeah.
And to the
Right.
pastor that they raised the money through the church, it didn't come today either.
Okay.
So that gives you an idea of how long it is.
Yeah, it's taken 5 days when I've sent something from the DC area. So, and that's taking it to the centralized post office, not the
Yeah.
local.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thanks.
Please talk to people. Please spread the word. Please try to get, Jason's program had 4,000 people heard it the day I was on that night, or by the end of the day, 4,000. We end up with, maybe 800. Spread the word, please. Please.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Larry. Bye. Okay, he's gone. Corsi wanted to write the definitive story about the Clintons and came to Larry, told Larry that he wanted all Larry's information. He wanted it categorized. He told Larry exactly how he wanted all this work done. And he didn't want Larry just handing everything to him. He wanted it categorized by topics and so on. It was a lot of work that he asked for. And Larry said, and what do I get out of this? Are you paying me to do this work? And do I get a percentage of the book? What does Larry get? And of course he said, oh no, you don't get anything. I'm the one that's the writer. So Larry said, sorry, I don't have time to give all that effort to you for nothing. So that kind of put a sour in the relationship between them. And as for Roger Stone, I'm not sure if he did something similar to that or not. Larry and Alex has not asked Larry on for quite a while. There was a time when Larry was asked not to do anything with Alex last year. I don't know why. I did hear that had been said to him. But Alex hasn't invited him back in quite a while, and I don't know why. Darren, thank you. Anything you can free up would be fantastic. Larry's PayPal account is nicholslive@aol.com. You go to paypal.com, and when you sign up there and log in, you can say send to friends and family, and you use his email address, nicholslive.com, just his last name, nicholslive.com. There is a direct link from nicholslive.com rather than PayPal is nicholslive@aol.com. The website is nicholslive.com, and there's a direct link to the PayPal. His address is there, and if you need other alternative ways to send money to Larry, send a text to me, and that is also on the website under the donate page. That's 240-499-6729. And I can help you figure out a way to donate. We've tried a couple different ideas. Thanks for what you're doing. Anybody can do anything to help him get to that 300 today. It really is. He has had a discount on a lot of what he has done. I think there's some problem with that right now because he doesn't have somebody regular enough. I'm not sure. I don't know where he's at with that. This fundraising gets to be quite a trick. So anything you can do for him is greatly appreciated. And whatever you're doing for him, you are doing for the country. And let's just keep talking. I really appreciated, and I'm sorry I didn't catch the name of who put this in, but somebody said yesterday 3 words that I think are so important: pray, speak, and act. And with that, I'll say we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for being here. We are going to have a conference call right now. If anybody wants to join us, the number is 712-451-0725. That's 712-451-0725. And the access code is 492-215 pound. I just stuck that in there for you. Oh, I put an exclamation mark instead of a pound, sorry. So we're doing that right now, and I hope Barb's still there waiting for us, and we're going to have some prayer for Larry, the country, and whatever nonsense the witches plan to do tonight. So I'm going to pray against that. So thanks for being here. God bless you, and we will talk tomorrow. Bye.